All right, I want to look at one problem that sometimes gives students a lot of trouble. Let's talk about radio call letters. So here's the setup, and this is true. Radio call letters used to have to be 4 letters long, and there are some different rules now that we have podcasts and things like this, but old school radio. 4 letters long, and they had to begin with a K or a W, depending on which side of the country you were located. And we couldn't repeat letters. So for instance, we could have KZQY, but we could not have KZZY. Right? Couldn't repeat letters. So we want to know how many call letters are possible. So I need to think about this problem in terms of 2 different groups. For my first letter, I only have 2 choices, so it's separate than the rest of them. It comes from a pool of 2 letters, and then the rest of my letters come from a different pool, all the rest of them. So for my very first letter, I have 2 choices. It can either be K or W. And there are actually 2 ways to work this problem, so I'm going to show both ways. For my next letter, there are 4 total letters. I can choose anything but the K or the W, whichever one it was. Let's say it was a K. So I can choose any other letter. So that means there's a total of 25 letters left. Remember, I can't repeat. So once I've chosen the second letter, say it was a Z, I can no longer choose it. So there are a total of 24 letters left, and then 23 letters left. So there's my 1, 2, 3, 4 letters. This 2, because I can only choose between K or W, and then the remaining 3 can come from the rest of the letters of the alphabet. So that's one way I could work it. The second way is to recognize that this is a permutation. I know it's a permutation because there's no repetition allowed. That was straight out said. And order is important. This is the name. If you switch around the letters in your name, it won't be the same name. It won't spell your name. So order is important. So it's a permutation. There are 25 letters to choose from, and I'm choosing 3. The 3 that remain right here. I've already got the first one chosen, so I'm only choosing the second, third, and fourth. Either one of these answers is going to give us the same thing. You can use the permutation formula. You can use the button on your calculator, whichever one that you want to. In either case, I'm going to get 27,600. Now this is if I was using the entire alphabet. Sometimes I've seen the problem where we can only use the letters A through W. Okay, so if I were given restrictions on the letters I can use, then my N would have changed. Instead of having all the letters except for the first one, I would have to count and see how many letters are between A and W and worry about that. So again, this is if I could use any letter in the alphabet, none of those restrictions. So make sure and read carefully your problem to see if they give you the restrictions on which letters you can use. Again, all you would do is this N right here would change.